Hi, I'm Sheila Hensley, and I am interviewing Jodi. How do you say your last name, Jodi?
Okun.
Okay, just as I predicted. I'm asking Jodi to talk to me about being small business owners and the frustrations and the fear, because there is fear associated with taking your small business. It doesn't matter what your small business is,
Mhm.
taking that small business and developing an online digital presence that's effective and doesn't work you to death, but it satisfies your clients and customers. It looks good and it promotes your business as a substantial business. When you started out, did you immediately start out with a website?
No, I started off with a blog.
Okay.
And I first built my credibility by working at colleges because I help students and families with financial aid. And I felt that was important to build substantial credibility in that essence. And I probably took on my first clients, 5 clients, 3 pro bono,
Yes.
2 paying,
Yes.
and built my company step by step, just like everyone else. I read Social Media for Dummies, 800 pages.
Didn't we all?
In one plane ride from Boston to California,
Mhm.
and sat down and just started doing it. I mean, there's no magic to it.
You just figured it out.
Right.
It was called survival.
Right. And I went on Twitter. That was probably the first place I went on. Obviously, that's like the place I'm most comfortable. So this place right here where you and this is my least comfort zone.
Mhm.
And but my most is 140 characters, quick and fast. And I feel like I shine. And then the other thing is I've created this avid learning. So trying to stay up and current, which I'm sure you do too, and learning all that you can, which makes us entrepreneurs because we have so many hats.
That's right. That's right. All right. In learning this new stuff as a small business, what was your biggest hurdle to overcome?
Learning my voice. I had a hard time finding who I was. Like I would try to tweet something that someone else said, and I was like, you would never say that.
Right.
And so I really had a hard time just being me.
Yeah.
And that probably took 3 years. So I've been in business 10.
Yeah.
That took 3 years for me to sit down and say, I would say, cool. I'd say high five. I wouldn't say that's fabulous. That's just not me.
Yeah.
So it's hard.
Yeah. And I would say that's fabulous.
Right. And that's fine.
And it might be deemed insincere until people got used to me saying, oh, Sheila's going to say it's fabulous. It must be fabulous.
Right.
So you've got to believe in yourself and what you're saying,
Right.
and not only know what you're doing and know your business, but you have to believe in yourself, and you really have to project that and being genuine when you communicate. All right, let's talk about, are you going to have a Google My Business listing?
I'm not right now for this minute. I've decided to brand Jodi Okun.
Uh-huh.
And so that there are many parts of my small business. Not only do I have an offline company that I don't really publicize a lot, there are my clients that I deal with face to face.
Right.
But I have an online presence, even though we know they're the same, but for me, they're very different.
Yes.
So right now I am struggling with this business page. And my answer for today is no. It's going to be Jodi Okun.
Yeah. You want to know what my first answer was?
Yes, I do.
Not only no, but I will never have a page. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to put my time into that. I don't know if you've seen my page lately, but it's one of the things I'm most proud of.
Yes, it is beautiful.
Because I learned that my audience needed to be there and that served them better. So I had to go learn to do it, and I had to do it, and it has been fabulous for me. But as a small business, don't we make those decisions based on our clientele, how we're trying to serve them, and we have to go out and learn which pieces of it work for us, and it actually serves our clients, because otherwise we're not going to be in business very long if we don't serve them what they need. Is that correct? Do you agree with that?
I agree. I agree. I mean, that's the same on any platform, you know, like my Facebook page, it has to be specific, you know, what I'm going to post and what I'm not going to post. And I'm not going to post about my company on my personal Facebook page. That's the sunrise, the sunset, Jodi walking, riding, eating French fries. Every once in a while, if a big thing happens in my company, will I do it or share something that really resonates? But on each platform, I am doing the 360 life balance work as a small business woman entrepreneur. I'm all about that a little bit, just because I started later in life. My second act. So I want to impact.
I like that statement. I'm all about that a little bit.
Yeah, I'm all about that a little bit. I want everyone to feel like, wow, you can do this. Like it works.
Yeah, yeah. And again, it's survival and learning. And what I want to convey to small businesses is that it's not impossible. It's not overwhelming, even though I know you feel a little bit overwhelmed right now. And there are many times I feel overwhelmed, but it's not impossible. It must be done, because we have to find our voice. We have to find out what works. And the small business struggles with that, whether they're brick and mortar and they receive people coming in their front door, or they're in the service industry and they do it online. You still have the same decisions to make, still have to go through the same process. And sometimes it's very much fear of the unknown. And you have to read a book between Boston and California.
Right. And I think I was listening to everything you're saying, and I also think that what we have as an advantage is collaboration. So, you know, we have the opportunity to create mentorships between you and I, and collaboration, so that, you know, if we're going through the same situations, that maybe you've done them in one way and I've done them in another way, we can come together, and there's no edging up, you know, it's just being better, both of us at the same time.
That's right. That's right. The competition is not there. It's what can I do to help you?
Exactly.
And by the way, would you please teach me to like Twitter, because I hate it. You know, as you were talking, I was going, okay, check. I'm going to be talking about Twitter, and she's going to get me up to speed.
Right.
Because I know you'll do it for me.
100%. 100%.
Sure. I wouldn't even have to ask. I mean, in my mind, I know you'll do it for me. And that's the collaboration you're talking about. And it's so important to do that.
And how long have you been in business?
Oh, you really don't want me to say, that would date me.
Okay, don't date. So just give me like how long is your small? Okay, you don't have to. I don't want to push you, but
you don't really think I care about dating myself, do you?
No, totally fine. But I mean, I just, you know, I mean, I've been
in one business, I was in business for 33 years.
Okay.
And I changed from that business and went into the education arm of that business. And I've built that over the last 14 years. And what I had to do is I had to go from a brick and mortar and move that brick and mortar online. And I had to not only learn how to do that, but I had to deal with the tech issues of doing that. And the way small businesses, and here's just some advice for you. Get some people around you who know what they're doing and depend on them. Website, all those tech issues. If you try to learn all of that, you're going to be going down rabbit holes. So build good people around you that you can hire to do that stuff. The investment is so worth it, because it doesn't take your time away from what you do well. And it also relieves the frustration. Will you agree with that?
I agree 100%. I think as a small business owner, we learn, you've probably learned, I have learned, this is what I do well. This is my lane. And I'm going to be the first one to say that my time is best spent in this lane. So if there are other people who can be in other lanes to make my lane better, then come on in and let's be a team, and I'll support you, you support me, and that's how it's worked for me successfully so far. So I'm happy about that.
And that's the very same thing. It's not the very same thing, but it's the very same attitude about finding your voice.
Right.
Find your voice, find a team,
Uh-huh.
keep your business going. Don't waste your time. Don't go down rabbit holes. Find people that you can depend on, and the people that you have to pay them.
Right.
You're either gonna pay yourself in time away from your clients.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna expend that money there because you're not with your clients, or you're gonna pay somebody else that's competent to do the tech stuff, or whatever it is you need. I say tech stuff because that usually bothers a small business unless they're naturally techie.
Right.
Creative people are not naturally techie.
Right. I mean, I'm a numbers girl, so I do financial aid. That's what I do. So my website, as we sit here, as calm as we are, is down. My website's down. I'm a small business owner. My website's in someone else's hands. I'd
Yes.
like it to be live. You know, this is the trials and tribulations of the different hats we wear as an entrepreneur.
That's right. That's
Right.
right. And you can let fear overtake you, or you can take command of it and remove the fear and get it done.
Right.
And that's basically what we have to do. All right. Now, you know that I have been in business for 105 years.
You mentioned something like that, yes. Not that I was doing the math as a numbers girl, but I'm catching on to you.
So I've been in business for a long time, but I haven't been in today's business for a long time. Everything is new. I'm having to learn stuff, and I'm having to do stuff differently, and I find that makes me better as a small business. So I am in real estate education. Let's talk about what you do, and because I know what you do, but other people watching this will not. Tell us about the financial aid so we will know.
So I help families with the financial aid process. So if students are applying to college and they're rising seniors in high school and they're wondering how to pay, I've created a company where I help them through the process from point A, which is usually the summer of their high school going into senior year, to point B when they're flying out of the nest and they're going into college, and talking to parents about how they're going to pay for it. So that's what I call college financial aid advisors. It's my offline business where I meet families privately. I also do social media around that. So I have a hashtag chat every Thursday night at 5 p.m. on Twitter where we talk about financial aid. So that's my outreach, because I think as a small business owner, you need to have outreach where you bring information to everyone who's there.
Yeah, yeah. It's almost the old networking where you go and have cocktails and shake hands and do all of that. It's now online.
Right.
People learn that you know what you're doing, that you can be depended on, you're consistent, and I think that's fabulous. Okay, that's all I wanted to know. I wanted to interview you about you, and
I have to say that was on point, probably the best interview that I have had all year, and I have been interviewed by so many people this year, Wall Street Journal, Time Magazine, and the fact that you called up, dialed up, sent an invite. I am so envious. Will you teach me how to do this? And I'll teach you whatever you need to know about Twitter.
Done. We
Done.
have just collaborated.
Okay. I love
like
it.
this a lot. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Jodi. This was a pleasure. Thanks
Have
a lot.
Great day.
We'll talk again soon, and don't be surprised if you get an invite to do a follow-up on this, because this is a subject, I think if we're talking to small businesses and allowing them to see our vulnerabilities, and that collaboration really, really does benefit everybody that collaborates. I think it will make their lives a little bit easier. At least I hope so.
I'm on board with you. Thank you.
Thank you for your time, Jodi.
Have a great one.
Thanks, you too.
Bye-bye.